Welcome back to another episode of American Heroes Outdoors. We're back at beautiful Camp Ripley in central Minnesota, where the veteran service organizations put together Camp Ripley outdoor programs. We're going to feature yet again trolling for the troops, the DAV deer hunt, and the DAV turkey hunt, all in one episode. So join us as we share the stories of our nation's true heroes while helping them heal in the great outdoors.
American Heroes Outdoors shares the stories of our nation's true heroes, a documentation of journey, commitment, struggle, and healing. A glimpse into the sacrifice and bravery of our service men and women. This is American Heroes Outdoors.
Good luck, guys.
Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to Mille Lacs Lake, trolling for the troops. Oh, fish on, fish off right there just now. We're sitting up on the north end of Mille Lacs Lake on the rocks, and what we're trying to do is find scattered rock fishing smallmouth bass. And they are up here pre-spawn and post-spawn. We've had fish today that were both pre-spawn sitting on their beds in 3 to probably 5-6 feet of water, and they have to be around boulders. And we're throwing paddletail minnows. Believe it or not, we've, traditionally on Mille Lacs Lake, hair jigs are the thing, but today, paddletails have been super effective. We've got a couple of 20s already, 20-inch smallmouth, which are those world-class Mille Lacs smallmouth that everybody talks about. And every angler has got a number of fish today. We've watched a ton of fish under the boat in very shallow water. Some biters, some not biters, but great program. So we're throwing paddletail minnows. An easy bait for anybody at home to fish if you're a vet out there and just want to fish. It's a nice, easy bait anybody can throw. Got a great group of vets on my boat this morning, super excited. There's a fish on right there. So here we go. Hey, it's a big lake. Hey, it's a big lake.
Hey guys, I'm really surprised you're in the boat and not pushing it. He normally makes his people push it.
Oh, a med rig. Dude's got a turd on.
You know, this is something I look forward to every year, getting these guys out fishing. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, Mille Lacs is a beautiful place and tons of fish. You couldn't ask for a better day. I mean, it's gorgeous, it's flat calm, it's gonna be 85 degrees, and to get these guys out fishing, you know, there's one thing that we all know is just absolutely probably the best healing thing ever, and that's the outdoors. Whether you're hunting or fishing or just out enjoying the outdoors, it's the best healing. So to get them outdoors and just have fun for a day in the boat. I mean, we laughed all the way over here this morning, and we're just having fun. So yeah, that's what it's about. You know, it's gonna fish a little bit tougher today just because of the weather. I mean, it's flat calm, so when it's flat calm, conditions just get a little bit tougher. Fish can see you, they hear everything. So but no, we're having fun. That's all. That's what it's about. I mean, just being out in the water on a nice day like today. We're going to be able to run around here this afternoon once we get rid of you and enjoy the rest of the day.
Well, you know, it's the giving back. I had the privilege of being a soldier and participate in this event when I was still at Camp Ripley. Retired about 4 years ago and really decided at that point, just the opportunity to give back. You know, when you leave the service, I say a lot of times I never miss the job, but I miss the people. And you know, this is a way for me to get to spend a day hanging out with some veterans again. You know, it's definitely a unique group of people. You know, you miss those friends that have those common bonds, and so I get a day that I get to come out and spend a day in the boat with these three gents, and I don't know, it gives me an opportunity to feel like I'm serving again, I guess.
I was active duty Army and in the Minnesota National Guard. I was drafted in 1972, and then I went and joined up. It took 3 years, and then I got out and I joined the National Guard, and 35 years later, I ended up with a little over 39 years of military service. Motor sergeant, first sergeant, then I retired. 2011, been great.
You know, American Heroes Outdoors has been a part of this event for a few years now, and when we come to the event, we always have a couple boat hosts. Obviously, Scott St. Sauver, this was, you know, his brainchild, this event, and getting these heroes out on the water. This event came about pairing veterans with currently serving soldiers, and I think that's a really cool combination when you get them together, and I've witnessed it firsthand.
This is an event that I think we've built to last forever. We've given them the roadmap. All of the veteran service organizations in Minnesota, they just make this happen. It's cost a lot of money, and it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and treasure to pull these off. So to be able to do that is just super special. So for me, it's always the best event of the year. I get a little emotional, but this is what it's about. Just looking people in the eye, them looking in your eye, and just having a great day in the water.
My career in the Army was not your typical career. I didn't do any of the jobs you're supposed to do as a lieutenant. My first assignment as a lieutenant was at Sierra Army Depot in Herlong, California. It's just high desert plateau country. It's about 60 miles north of Reno, Nevada. I learned more at Sierra than I learned anywhere else in the Army about ammunition. How to deal with ammunition, store it, ship it, receive it, inspect it, dispose of it, the whole works. Sierra was my first exposure to special weapons as well. My degree was in chemistry with an emphasis on nuclear chemistry, so I understood the science behind nuclear weapons. Sierra was the first place that I got into that stuff. After Sierra, did 2 years there, and then I went to Greece, and I was involuntarily extended to 36 months. When I left there, I went to Korea, Battalion XO. I spent the first year on staff, 19th Theater Army Area Command as the Command Ammunition Officer. Consequently, everything I did after that was ammunition. At that point, I went to the Pentagon, where I was the ammunition officer. It was about that time, I was still a major at this point, that they started sending me to meetings, both while I was at AMC and at the Pentagon. The other thing that happened while I was at the Pentagon, of course, was the attacks of September 11th. I don't talk about this a whole lot. My office was in the impact zone. I remember everything up until the aviation fuel exploded that had been on the airplane. The first sense you got that something was wrong was we heard a real loud roar. And I mean, we were used to airplanes flying overhead, and then everything in the building started to shake very, very violently, to the point where computer monitors and computers were vibrating off of desktops onto the floor. And I don't remember anything after that till about 15 minutes later when I was in the center courtyard of the Pentagon. But it wasn't until we were outside the building and heard people from other offices that did know about New York that we found out that it was likely another airplane. We'd find the pieces of the aircraft laying around on the ground. It turned out that I had hall and a ceiling partially collapsed on top of me. My boss, Colonel Joe Tedesco, and a co-worker, retired Lieutenant Colonel Don Kranz, dug me out. Is the only reason that I got out of there. They didn't find it for 4 months, but it turned out I broke my back that day. We had no idea what was coming, and we had no chance to prepare for it at all. DAV had a program, and that's how I ended up here deer hunting this year. And I'm very glad they gave me that opportunity. Well, Kurt, my partner, has been fantastic. The hunting, I'm in a beautiful area, beautiful spot, clear fields of fire. There is sign of deer around here all over the place. Problem is we haven't seen any, although I'm ready to take one if a critter happens to walk out of the woods. If you look at your entire life, it's a lot like a deck of cards. The difference is in life you can't ask for a redeal. You get the cards that you get and you play them the best way you can. What happened in the past happened in the past. We can't go back to that. You keep moving forward. You don't forget what happened or the people you lost, and you just keep looking for something to keep you going and keep moving forward. What I used to tell people for a long time, and I figured my dad died when he was so young because God had a problem that he couldn't fix, and he needed my dad up there to fix it for him. And I figure when God's got a problem that he can't fix up there without me, he'll call me home then too. And until then, he'll take care of stuff until I get there.
American Heroes Outdoors is brought to you by Scheels, the Disabled American Veterans, Smoky Hills Outdoor Store, Skeeter Boats, and Yamaha Outboards, Woodland Resort, Ottertail Lakes Country, Ice Castle Fish Houses, S&S Promotional Group, Devil's Lake Tourism, and Minnesota Truck Headquarters.
My heart is pounding. It's unsafe. Oh, I'm shaking. I'm shaking so bad.
The toms are strutting pretty good, so and I think you're hitting the timing pretty right. I was slated to hunt in a week and a half here, but I think you'll be at the height of the whole mating dance between the females and the toms. So
I came to Camp Ripley for the disabled veteran hunt, and on day one we had a really good spot. We had to drive down a trail that I never thought the wheelchair would make it. We got set up. We had 4 toms come in strutting at 15 yards, and they walked around us, and I got a really close shot at about 12 to 15 yards, and I shot right over top and missed. And I was pretty sure that was the end of my hunt.
They flew off, and his spirits were a little bit down, but I told him we just got to keep going. There's still plenty of daylight left, and we still have tomorrow, which is today.
We moved to a new location, and it was the most birds I've ever seen in my life. I have never, ever, I've turkey hunted a lot, and I've never seen this many birds. And we had 3 jakes come in. I decided I wasn't going to take them, even though I hadn't shot a bird. And I'm glad I did, because about a half hour later, the tom came in, and he started to walk out of the decoys at about 20 yards.
Got him. You got him. Oh, you got him, buddy. You got him. Oh, I took my time. It happened. soon as the blood flew, I knew I ate it right. Oh, my first Minnesota bird. You did it. Big Tom. I'm so glad we let them chase.
I know.
I was like, you're like, take him. I'm like, gotta take my time. Let him come to the decoy.
Well, that one was doing the
I know.
chirp. I was like, oh no.
My nephew pushes me more than anyone to go and do these things. And at first I was hesitant. But all I can say is I promise you, there's nothing you can't do, and there's always a way to do it. If anybody gets to see these videos of any hunting trip I've done and seen some of the stuff I do to get a bird, it's not that difficult, and you will enjoy it once you go. The biggest thing is you keep saying, oh, I can't. Never say that. You just say yep and go with the flow. The worst that could happen, you fall out of your wheelchair and there's 4 guys there that'll come and put you back in it. But once you do it, I promise you, your life will be 100 times better than just staying home.
Having my uncle here with me is one of the coolest things that you could ever ask for. I know that it's difficult for him to get around in his chair. I know that it's difficult for him to do, quite a few things that us able-bodied people can. But I always try to push him, and I always say that you can do it. And he knows that he can do it now. In the beginning, when we first started doing hunts and whatnot, he was kind of skeptical and weary, and that was just a trust thing. He needed to learn how to trust me. And eventually he learned, and every time I say, let's go deer hunting, let's go turkey hunting, let's go pheasant hunting, let's go shoot something, let's go whatever, let's go fishing. Yep, let's go. When are we going? Where are we going? And it's pretty awesome to see that change and to see that he knows now that he can do anything that he puts his mind to.
Welcome back to the show, and now it's time for the next Scheels hometown hero, Jared Poppe.
Welcome to Scheels Hometown Heroes. Scheels Hometown Heroes is a way for us to say thanks to those that serve our country and our community.
And are still giving back to others today.
We honor your service by sharing your stories.
From all of us at Scheels, thank you for your service.
Welcome to Scheels, guys. Hi, Jared.
How's it going?
Good, great to see you.
How's it going?
Yeah, welcome back to Scheels. So, on behalf of Scheels, I'd like to present you with our Scheels Hometown Hero Award for all you do for the WOODLAND organization.
Thank you very much. Thank you
very
much.
And with that, we're going to get from Springfield Scheels, we're going to give you a $1,500 gift card to use for items that you need for your boat to make this organization even experience better. This is the fake ones. I'll give you the real one upstairs.
Holy crap. Thank you very much.
So we'll have Jamie take a picture.
This week we're bringing in 12 disabled veterans for a basically all expense paid hunt. We cover all expenses from the time they leave home to the time they go back. We don't want them to spend a dime. Today was a Scheels day. I kind of call it Christmas for our heroes. Every hero gets outfitted head to toe, new boots, socks, bibs, jacket. They get backpacks, pretty much everything they need to hunt minus the weapon. And it's just a fun day to see them get all that. Today we have the first responders and our police force showing up. Doing the escorting for all our first responders and police do for us. It's great to see them paying their tribute to our heroes, and our heroes I know greatly appreciated that today. So it's a pretty cool feeling for sure.
So I'm originally from just north of here, El Paso, Illinois area. I've been all over the place. I've lived in California for many years and kind of all over the place with the military, but I'm back here now. So several years of service, did it in Norfolk, Virginia, ended up in Washington State for a couple years, and then ended most of my service in California at Camp Pendleton. So the injury happened to me in June of 2011. We were just on a regular routine patrol. We found this IED and unfortunately stepped on the pressure plate. Ended like this. I was fully aware through all of it. Still had a kind of a joking mentality. A lot of people give me gaff about it, but still kept a good mentality through it. It does take some acclimating. It's not a great experience right off the bat, but you meet a lot of people going through the same stuff, and it really helps you out because you meet a lot of people who have done the same thing but are further along than you that are really kind of a motivating force. Kind of worked my way through kind of getting myself back into the world and that's what kind of roundabout story, that's kind of what led me to where I am these days.
Jared's very down to earth. Jared doesn't carry a lot of ego. Jared's just naturally a compassionate person. He may kill me for saying what I say, but Jared can connect with anybody from 3 to 83.
I think he relates to people probably the better than anyone in our group. He can relate to them, he can talk to them, he can have fun with them, he can be serious, he can be funny. So I think it's just a great character that he has that he can relate to so many people.
When I moved back here about 5 years ago, it was just natural. They brought me back into the fold to help out, and there was last year we were kind of sitting around and deciding that, I like to spend a little more time on the lake than I do in the woods, and then they decided that it was a great time that we should kind of venture into a little more fishing, because then we get to help out, we get to help vets out a little more, a little longer throughout the year. Instead of the hunting season's pretty short here, so the fishing side of the operation kind of really helps us broaden our horizons, and we can really get to a lot more people throughout the year.
By any means, I think Jared's an absolute wonderful ambassador for Who Dare Heroes, for veterans. When he gets out in the lake, just to show them what he can do. And like I said, Jared's one of the guys. It's hard not to like the guy. I mean, you can really try, but it's hard not to like the guy, unfortunately.
I know what he really meant to say there.
Get the camera started.
Or it shows someone will come up and say something to him and like, hey, we're so sorry. He says, why? I'm doing great. And that's just kind of his outtake in life. Hey, I'm doing great. Step aside because, I'm coming through. And I think that's one thing with Jared. Someone that came back, maybe physically okay, but not mentally. Then they see what he's doing mentally and physically. I just think it's just it's a great tribute to, hey, keep pushing forward. There's better days to come.
Well, that's a wrap on another Camp Ripley Outdoor Programs adventure. Trolling for the Troops was awesome. The Disabled American Veterans Deer Hunt was great, and the turkey hunt, it's always an amazing time. Great organizations with the Veteran Service organizations, great people, serving our country, true heroes. We had some amazing stories from these events, and we're looking forward to do it again next year.